Most people who feel financially responsible are actually financially insecure, and they don't even realize it. You pay your bills. You try to save. You avoid checking your balance sometimes, and tell yourself it's normal. But what if those normal habits are the exact reason you feel stuck? Buying something just to feel okay. Always choosing the cheapest option. Feeling anxiety every time money comes up. That's not random. That's a pattern. And here's the scary part, most people live like this for years, thinking they're doing everything right. In this video, I'll show you the exact habits that quietly signal financial insecurity and how to fix them. And the first one? It's so common, you probably did it this week without noticing. Most people have been trained their whole lives to hunt for the lowest price tag, and honestly, that habit feels smart until it straight up isn't. It's one of those money habits that hides in plain sight, disguising itself as discipline when it's actually bleeding your wallet dry over time. Think about the last time someone grabbed the cheapest laptop on the shelf, only to replace it 2 years later, when a mid-range one would have easily lasted 5 or 6. Financial psychology has a name for this trap. It's called price anchoring, and it hijacks the brain before anyone even realizes what's happening. The second someone spots a low price, their brain fires off a little dopamine hit, like they already won the deal, and the actual value of the product gets tossed right out the window. Personal finance experts like Ramit Sethi talk about this constantly. The cheap first money mindset is one of the biggest hidden wealth killers out there, and most people never connect the dots. You end up spending more in the long run because you optimized for right now instead of for the next 5 years. Remember that scene in The Dark Knight where Alfred drops that line, "Some men just want to watch the world burn"? Well, price-first thinking kinda works the same way. It burns your financial future slowly, one bargain at a time. Here's a dead simple finance tip you can apply literally today. Before any purchase, pause for 10 full seconds, count them out, and ask yourself out loud, will this save me money or cost me more over time? That one question, practiced consistently, is a core piece of real financial education, and it starts rewiring how your brain evaluates every single money decision going forward. Here's where it gets interesting though. People who start using that 10-second rule quickly realize the problem goes way deeper than just shopping choices. It turns out, most folks aren't just avoiding value in stores, they're actively dodging something far more uncomfortable in their everyday personal finance routine. And this thing they're running from? It's quietly feeding anxiety, killing their money mindset, and keeping them stuck in a loop they don't even see. What is it exactly? That's what's coming next, and it's going to hit closer to home than you'd expect. Here's a habit that almost nobody talks about, but practically everybody does: avoiding their bank account like it's a text from an ex. It feels safer to just not look, not check, not know. And that avoidance feels like protection, but what it's actually doing is handing over all financial control to fear, and fear is the worst money manager on the planet. Studies show that financial anxiety affects over 77% of Americans regularly, and a huge chunk of that stress comes not from the numbers themselves, but from the uncertainty of not knowing what those numbers are. This is straight up financial psychology in action. The brain interprets not knowing as it could be catastrophic, and that triggers low-key chronic stress that never fully goes away. It's like the scene in Breaking Bad where Walter White keeps telling himself he's doing fine, everything's under control, right up until it's absolutely not. Avoiding the bank account works the same way. The longer someone waits to look, the bigger the monster gets in their head. And the brutal truth is, most of the time, the actual number is way less scary than the imagined one. Here's a practical finance tip that actually works, and it's backed by behavioral science. Check your bank account every single day for 7 days straight. Not once a week, not when you remember, every single day. Set an alarm at the same time, maybe right after morning coffee, and just look at the number without judgment. No guilt, no panic, no story, just look. After those 7 days, the anxiety starts dropping hard, because the brain realizes the information isn't dangerous, it's actually empowering. That small habit is a cornerstone of real financial education, and it shifts the money mindset from avoidance to ownership faster than almost anything else. But here's the wild part: once someone starts actually facing their numbers, they discover something totally unexpected. They notice that the problem isn't always what they thought it was. It's not always the big stuff. In fact, most people are losing money in ways they'd never even suspect, places they'd almost feel good about. And this next pattern? It's one of the sneakiest financial traps in personal finance, because it hides behind the feeling of being responsible. There's something almost addictive about skipping a coffee and thinking, yeah, I'm being responsible with money. That tiny win feels good. It feels like progress, like discipline, like a real money habit forming. But here's the thing nobody wants to hear. Saving $5 on a latte while paying for 4 forgotten subscriptions is like patching a crack in the wall while the roof is caving in. Financial psychology calls this small win bias, and it's one of the sneakiest traps in all of personal finance. Think about the movie Don't Look Up. The whole world is focused on the wrong thing while the real threat is right there, massive and undeniable. That's exactly what happens when someone celebrates skipping lunch but hasn't reviewed their subscriptions, gym memberships, or auto renewals in months. The average American spends over $219 per month on subscriptions, and 42% of those are completely forgotten, according to a 2022 C+ or research study. That's not a coffee problem. That's a leak problem, and leaks sink ships. Here's a finance tip you can run with today, right now. No excuses. Open your bank statement and highlight every recurring charge from the last 30 days, streaming, apps, memberships, everything. Then ask yourself honestly, did I actually use this? Cut just one, even a $15 or $20 charge, and you've already done more for your personal finance than a month of skipping coffees. That one cut, repeated consistently, can free up $200 to $500 a year that could go straight into an emergency fund or investment account. And once someone starts plugging those leaks, something shifts in their brain, almost like a switch flips. Suddenly they start questioning other automatic patterns they never noticed before. Like the words that come out of their mouth without thinking every time something costs a little more than expected. That phrase, used constantly, almost like a reflex, is quietly building a financial identity that keeps people stuck. And you're about to find out exactly which words are doing the damage. There are 3 words that quietly destroy more financial futures than bad investments ever will, and most people say them on autopilot, multiple times a day, without even flinching. I can't afford it. Sounds harmless, right? Maybe even responsible? But here's the truth that financial psychology backs up hard. Every time that phrase gets repeated, the brain accepts it as a permanent identity, not a temporary situation. It stops looking for solutions and starts building walls, and those walls become the ceiling of someone's entire money mindset. Think about it like this. In The Pursuit of Happiness, Chris Gardner didn't have a single reason to believe things would turn around. But he never let "I can't afford it" become his identity. He asked a different question, and that question changed everything. Research from Dr. Carol Dweck's work on growth mindset shows that the language people use about money directly shapes their financial behavior, and "I can't afford it" is classic fixed mindset language that shuts down creative thinking instantly. It's not just words. It's a blueprint your brain follows every single day. Here's the swap that actually rewires things. Replace "I can't afford it" with "How can I afford this?" and say it out loud. That one shift forces the brain into problem-solving mode instead of shutdown mode, which is the foundation of real financial education. Maybe the answer is cutting one expense, picking up a freelance gig on Fiverr or Upwork, or simply deciding the thing isn't worth prioritizing right now, but now it's a choice, not a limitation. People who practice this daily report feeling more in control of their personal finance within just a few weeks, because the language of possibility opens doors the language of scarcity keeps locked. But replacing that phrase is just the beginning, because there's another pattern running underneath it, something emotional and deeply wired, that drives people to spend money for completely different reasons than they think. It has nothing to do with need, and everything to do with how stress and identity get tangled up with how to make money and keep it. And once you see this next one clearly, you'll recognize it everywhere, in yourself, in people around you, and honestly, it might be the most relatable thing in this entire conversation. There's a reason why retail therapy is a phrase that literally everyone understands, because spending money to feel better is one of the most universal human experiences on the planet. Someone has a rough day at work, a fight with a partner, a moment of self-doubt, and suddenly a new pair of shoes or a random Amazon order feels like the solution. This is one of the most documented patterns in financial psychology. Emotional spending gives the brain a fast hit of control in a moment where everything feels out of control. But that hit fades fast, and the credit card statement doesn't. Think about Rachel in Friends. She starts the whole show drowning in shopping debt, using spending as her default response to stress, boredom, and the pressure to look successful. That's not just a TV trope, that's real life for millions of people trying to figure out personal finance while their emotions are running the budget. A 2023 survey by Lending Club found that 61% of Americans are living paycheck to paycheck, and emotional spending is one of the leading contributors, quietly turning small financial wins into a revolving cycle that never actually breaks. The purchase feels like progress, but it's just the costume that progress wears. Here's the habit that actually interrupts the cycle. When the urge to spend hits hard, set a 24-hour rule before buying anything that isn't a planned expense. Write down what you want to buy, why you want it, and how you're feeling in that exact moment, then revisit it the next day with fresh eyes. This one finance tip, practiced consistently, separates emotional reaction from intentional decision, and that gap is where real money habits are built. Most of the time, after 24 hours, the urge either disappears completely or gets replaced by something way more aligned with actual financial goals. Now here's what's wild. Once someone starts pausing before spending, they realize their financial decisions have been living entirely inside their head, with no system, no structure, no clarity whatsoever. And that lack of structure? It creates a specific kind of anxiety that no amount of budgeting apps can fix on their own. What's actually missing is something simpler and way more powerful, and it's the kind of thing that changes how people relate to money on a fundamental level. The next piece is going to make that crystal clear. Here's something that almost nobody in the personal finance world talks about enough. Keeping all money decisions locked inside your head is one of the quietest forms of financial self-sabotage out there. There's no written plan, no clear numbers, no defined goal, just a foggy mental estimate that shifts every time stress levels rise or a new expense shows up. And the scary part? Someone can be earning a decent income and still feel completely broke, anxious, and out of control, purely because everything lives in their head with zero structure. That mental clutter isn't just uncomfortable, it's actively costing money. It's like the show Squid Game. Everyone's playing a high-stakes game, but nobody fully understands the rules they're operating under. When money decisions stay invisible and unwritten, the brain treats every financial moment like a crisis, because it has no clear reference point for what's actually okay and what isn't. Research from the American Psychological Association confirms that financial stress is directly linked to lack of clarity, not just lack of money. People who write down their income, fixed expenses, and goals consistently report feeling more confident and in control, even before their actual numbers change. Clarity alone is a money habit that pays dividends. Here's a finance tip that takes less than 15 minutes and immediately shifts the money mindset. Grab a notebook or open a Google Doc and write down 3 things. Your total monthly income after tax, every fixed cost you pay each month like rent, utilities, subscriptions, and insurance, and one single financial goal you want to hit in the next 30 days. Not 5 goals, not a full budget overhaul, just one goal, written down clearly. Studies show that people who write down specific goals are 42% more likely to achieve them, according to research by Dr. Gail Matthews at Dominican University. That one page of clarity is the foundation of real financial education that actually sticks. And here's where it gets really deep, because once someone starts writing things down and seeing their financial picture clearly, they run into something unexpected. They start noticing patterns in their small daily choices, and those patterns reveal something about how much they actually trust themselves with money. That self-trust, or the lack of it, is the root of everything. And the next piece ties it all together in a way that's been tested for thousands of years, backed by wisdom that goes way beyond any finance book on the shelf. Most people think financial confidence comes from earning more, but that's not where it starts. It starts in the small, daily choices that most people overlook entirely. There's a reason Luke 16 verse 10 says, "Whoever is faithful with very little will also be faithful with much," because discipline at a small scale is literally the training ground for real wealth. The money mindset isn't built in big moments, it's built in quiet, repeated ones. Think about Karate Kid. Daniel doesn't get good by jumping straight into tournaments, he gets good by waxing cars and painting fences until the discipline becomes automatic. That's exactly how money habits work. The person who tracks their $20 grocery run with intention is the same person who later manages a $20,000 investment with confidence. Financial psychology confirms this. Self-trust with money grows directly from proving to yourself, repeatedly, that you can follow through on small commitments. It's not about the amount, it's about the pattern. Here's the practical move. Pick one small financial habit and commit to it every day for the next 21 days, whether that's checking your balance, writing down one expense, or transferring $5 into savings. That's it. One habit, done consistently, starts rebuilding the self-trust that most people quietly lost somewhere along the way. Personal finance isn't about perfection, it's about proving to your own brain that you're someone who shows up. Small discipline, done daily, creates the kind of financial security that no single paycheck ever could, because it changes who you are, not just what you have. And everything covered in this conversation, the price habits, the avoidance, the emotional spending, the mental clutter, all of it connects to one deeper pattern that's been running in the background the whole time. The introduction is going to tie it all together in a way that hits different, and you'll want to pay close attention from the very first line. Remember when avoiding your bank account felt like the safe move? When grabbing the cheapest option felt like being smart, or buying something after a rough day felt like you deserved it? Those habits made sense at the time, because nobody ever explained what was really driving them. But now you know. You can see the patterns, name them, and most importantly, you have the tools to start breaking them today, one small decision at a time. So here's the real question: are you going to keep running the same financial plays and expecting a different result? Or are you ready to actually build the money habits that create real security, real confidence, and real freedom? Hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications, because this channel is where that transformation happens, one video at a time, with zero fluff and zero wasted time. Now if you're serious about going deeper, not just understanding these habits but fully rewiring your relationship with money from the inside out, then the material in the pinned comment was built exactly for that. Holistic Health. Nourish your mind, balance your finances, transform your life walks you through how to eliminate financial anxiety, build daily money habits that stick, create a clear personal finance system that works on any income, and develop the mental clarity to make confident money decisions even under pressure. This isn't surface-level advice, it's the complete framework most people never get access to. Click the link in the pinned comment now and start building the financial life you've been putting off, because the longer you wait, the longer those old habits stay in charge. Check out the material in the pinned comment and take the next step today.